Charles Carmichael.
On the surface, it seems very, very simple. Guy wakes up, lives with his brother-in-law and his sister, goes to work at a Buy More as a nerd herder, and clocks in at 9, clocks out at 5, dating an attractive woman who works in the strip mall serving frozen yogurt. On the surface, it all looks very, very straightforward. Sometimes it can get a little bit confusing trying to keep track of who's who.
Sarah, Chuck and Casey.
Supercomputer.
Bryce Larkin.
Chuck Bartowski.
Fulcrum.
The Buy More.
The bad guy organization.
I'm CIA.
The NSA, FBI.
The Castle.
Super Agents.
Catalyst.
Orion.
Chuck's brain.
Killing Machine.
General Beckman.
Trojan Horse.
All the secrets.
Casey.
Sarah.
Intercept.
Skill.
Updates.
Abilities. Kung Fu. Spies. Deadly spies.
Blueprints. Flashes.
Get down!
Chuck's world is very complicated.
Good morning, Chuck.
It's confusing for him. You know, I think that Chuck will wake up sometimes, you know, still dressed in the outfit he was wearing from the night before, the night's mission before, and not realize he's got like a mustache, you know, taped to his upper lip. And, you know, just barely be able to get it off before his sister sees him in the morning or something like that. So it is getting fishy. I'm always out on an install.
I'm so sorry, I gotta go. Can you cover me?
Sorry, you know, I was late night install. What? I mean, at 3 in the morning? Where are you going? Dude! Easy, easy. Hey, I come in peace.
Chris and I used to joke that it was my two spies, you know, that he was given these two people to protect him. When we pitched it, we described it as, imagine you're a guy working, you know, in a minimum wage job, and all of a sudden you're assigned Jack Bauer and Sidney Bristow to protect you and kick ass on your behalf at all times.
Let the geek go!
Wait! Not out the window.
Are we picky?
I think at first Sarah and Casey hated each other, but now they've found love with their common cause of protecting Chuck. What is it?
Chuck's in trouble.
Let's go. And I think they do respect each other, but they're not afraid to tell each other exactly how they feel.
How much trouble can he get into on a date?
It's Bartowski.
I'll handle this.
Casey is a veteran of the Gulf Afghanistan conflicts, and he's come home and has been detached through the NSA to protect Chuck.
Is everyone in here CIA?
Of course.
John Casey? He's a scary fellow. One too many smacks against the wall from John Casey, as far as I'm concerned, at the Buy More. You got all of a sudden this mountain of a man coming in, pushing people around the aisles, throwing CDs at me, just sort of like, when does everybody go, hey, why is John Casey so aggressive?
You know, one of the things about playing the role of Chuck is that, you know, in the Buy More, I'm the straight man, and in the spy world, I'm the funny guy, or, you know, for the most part. Shh. And most of the comedy in the spy world just comes from the banter between Casey and Chuck, I think, and then Chuck just getting himself into ridiculous situations and whatnot.
He's a screw-up little brother.
Wait, no! I can never get a break.
He puts everyone's life at risk, potentially, with his clumsiness. You just want to smack him in the head.
Moron.
Yeah, there's times where he wants to throttle Chuck, and there are times where he does respect and appreciate that Chuck is trying and growing in his role as spy.
The Sheik's account number. Decent plan, Bartowski.
Casey is slowly but surely realizing that this guy is really special.
Thank you for saving my life at least once a week.
But Chuck grows on you. I don't care who you are.
Sarah Walker is an incredibly proficient and gifted member of the CIA, but she also has a heart. And part of this exploration of the series is as much fun and as wild and in some ways wish-fulfilling as it was for Chuck to become part of Sarah's spy world and see all these exciting things and be part of gunfights and ninjas and all of that. There's a part of Sarah that is very much finds wish fulfillment in Chuck's normal life with his best friend and his sister, that he gets to lead the normal life that Sarah's never gotten to lead.
The government snatched her up at a young age, knowing her potential.
Your dad trained you pretty well. CIA can do even better.
She's an ugly duckling turned into a beautiful swan.
Wow!
With a lot of old pain from her childhood that she's trying to work out through this dangerous world that she's been put into.
I think that audiences like a kick-butt chick. And if she's hot, then hey, rock and roll.
Lesson number 1 in being a spy: never fall in
love.
Sarah's relationship with Chuck has expanded into something of a friendship, or some people might say a relationship. It's the constant on and off thing of will they, won't they? They want to, but they can't because they work together. Yeah, constant tension.
She's torn because I think she's secretly falling in love with Chuck.
I'm just his cover girlfriend.
Sarah, you're the greatest thing that's ever happened to me. I'm a normal guy who wants a normal life.
He's realized that in this new life of espionage, he can't be with Sarah, and it's really difficult for him. I think that he is a little torn in his desires because finally something's happened in his life that's given him purpose. That's, you know, he sat around in this kind of state of arrested development for quite a few years after, you know, was kind of unrightfully kicked out of college and his best friend stole his girlfriend.
Jordana Brewster this season played Jill, who is Chuck's college girlfriend, that broke his heart. And he finally thinks he has the opportunity to win her back, only to discover that she was a Fulcrum agent going back to college.
So when they kind of reconnected, he was hoping, wow, you know, this could be it. And then, of course, his dreams of having a regular relationship failing horribly.
You're under arrest, Jill, and I'm breaking up with you.
She destroyed me. She took all of my confidence, my mojo.
You had mojo.
I was on my way. Oh, and by the way, she slept with Bryce Larkin.
Who hasn't?
The two most important girls in my life have both been involved in some kind of love triangle with Bryce Larkin. That guy is the thorn in my side.
Chuck, hi.
Miss me?
People really wanted to know why Chuck was chosen.
Yeah, in the beginning of the series, it seemed like Chuck was just an anonymous guy who got this email and suddenly was thrust into this hero's universe. It was like a Peter Parker, just a dude who gets bit by a spider, and now he has these powers. But what we've come to learn over the course of 2 seasons this was no random spider bite. There was a reason Chuck was made to be this guy.
Someday you're gonna realize I was looking out for you. Bryce picked Chuck because they were best friends. He knew him really well, and he knew that he could handle it if there's anybody who could handle that type of information. And he knew that Chuck had the integrity and the morals to sort of handle the intersect with responsibility. He also knows that it would eventually reunite him and his father.
You know, Chuck goes on a journey in season 2 to find his father because Ellie's getting married. And all Chuck wants to be able to do is find their father who abandoned them when they were very young and bring him back to walk Ellie down the aisle. But then we will come to learn even more as this season progresses involving his father. At the same time, he's in pursuit of a man named Orion.
This computer scientist, he's desperate to find him because Chuck has always wanted to get the intersect out of his head. He wants his regular guy life back. So he's been searching all season for this Orion.
Orion.
Hello, Chuck. It's good to finally see you face to face.
And then, when you finally is just about to meet Orion, Orion is killed. And Chuck thinks all is lost. But what we realize soon after is that Orion is actually his father, Steve Bartowski.
I'm not who you think I am.
I'm not who you think I am either.
You're Orion.
His pursuit of his father and his pursuit of Orion actually lead him to the same man, and that his father was the original designer of the Intersect computer. And that part of the reason his dad took off when he was young was because the government was after him, and he wanted to be able to protect his kids by being away from them. This has an incredible emotional ramifications for Chuck, as well as sending our story, spiraling into new directions.
We knew we were kind of building to that moment, and we also knew that it was going to change the show in a really cool and exciting way for season 3. And that was always kind of like the structure of the season. To get to the moment where Chuck, a regular guy who doesn't want to be a spy, gets to the point where he has to make a decision to either be a hero or to kind of go back to his regular life and try to escape.
What am I supposed to do?
You'll do the right thing. You always do. That's why I sent you the Intersect in the first place.
You know, we actually have a real mapped out plan we did for the season and knew where it was all leading and where we'll all go next year. But at times it can be complicated. But I think at the end of the day, if you're invested in Chuck's emotional journey through all of this, if you're invested in the Chuck-Sarah romance and his relationship with his friends and his family is important, and we keep trying to make sure that at the end of the day you get Chuck good, Fulcrum bad. All you need to know.
Now, that's what I call a spy.